Welcome back. Semifinals for our Gym Challenge League Cup. First of Reg H, first of the 2025 season. So much on the line here. Dennis Geisler here with Nicholas Stavrakis. In our semifinal matchup, we have Aaron Brok and Josh Denk. Off stream is Michael Kelsch and Giovanni Costa. Aaron with Tyranitar, Corviknight, Primarina, Hisuian Decidueye, Electabuzz, and Volcarona. Josh with Ursaluna, Amoonguss, Porygon 2, Incineroar, Goldengo, and Tyranitar. Let's talk about that Decidueye.
Yeah, it's like the first things first. Hisuian Decidueye in top 4. Like, let's all like notice that. And on top of that, it's looking like it has a really good matchup into Josh's team.
I mean, look at all those Pokemon that are weak to fighting. It's what, 3 of them on
and let's
Josh's
see.
team?
And we have his Terras. Okay.
A lot of them can flex out of the matchup and stuff, but
Yeah,
even still, it's not an ideal ideal matchup to be in.
We might get to see it, guys.
But
all right,
Josh's team as well has that Porygon too. We've seen a little bit of it out of Junshi earlier. This one, Terra Fighting, of course, has that Terra Blast as well as Ice Beam, Trick Room, Recover. Getting into game number 1 here, semi-final round. Lots of championship points on the line here. I mean, we're early on in the season, but all these players are pushing for worlds. Like, these are all world championship caliber players here. It's going to be Tyranitar and Goldengo on Josh's side, and Decidueye Electabuzz on Aaron's side.
We love to see it.
We do love to see Decidueye and Electabuzz. I'm a big Electabuzz fan.
All right, so we have Tyranitar on there with his Goldengo.
I mean, the big question here is Tyranitar, what does Tyranitar do? Because it does not have Protect. It either has to switch out or Terra or just get absolutely blasted by Decidueye turn 1.
Yeah, that's a very
At the same time, if it Terras, it can totally blast Decidueye with Terra Blast, because it is Terra Flying. We will potentially see that Terra Blast right now. It is Terra onto Goldengo.
Dragon.
Terra Dragon Goldengo. Seen a lot of that as a defensive option. Will now take damage to the sand. Electabuzz using the Follow Me, so it'll draw away any attention aimed at the Decidueye.
We got a nasty plot set up. That's pretty big.
Let's get that nasty plot, but now Decidueye might be able to... Ooh, Tyranitar actually goes first. Gets a knockoff onto the Electabuzz. And there's the triple arrows. Ooh, onto the Goldengo.
Oh, wait, I was going to say he caught it, but we have Scrappy. Okay, wait.
Yeah, it would have been a super effective move. Still wouldn't have knocked out if my numbers are correct here.
So knocking off the Eviolite's big, so this Electabuzz is no longer going to be tanky probably at all.
Yeah, it's certainly not as bulky. It's bulkier than you'd think, but it's still pretty bad without Eviolite. I'm going to be the one weird person who keeps saying that people should run static Electabuzz.
I think it's scarier
over Vital Spirit. It is scarier. I don't know if it's better, but it's certainly scarier, and I think that's what I value. The good thing for Decidueye here is that you know that Tyranitar is not going to be able to Terra. The bad news is, like everything else, the Goldengo is at +2. Your Electabuzz is eventually going to be in some danger.
Yeah, but also, Josh does not have a good switch into that fighting move into that Tyranitar slot.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Really.
I'm going to see the Terra on Aaron's side now. It's going to be the Terra Steel Decidueye. So we'll take away a decent amount of those weaknesses, add a bunch of resistances. Resistant to Make It Rain, most notably. The Feint into the Goldengo, predicting the Protect there, but instead just goes for the Make It Rain, does not pick up the knockout onto Electabuzz. Drops that special attack. Tyranitar with the knockoff into the Decidueye, gets the knockout. Decidueye paralyzes, doesn't get to do anything, and there it goes. And I believe the Electabuzz is now going to drop to sand.
Yeah, it seems like the Decidueye wasn't very fast.
Ooh, 3 HP. Never mind.
Oh, well.
Yeah, Decidueye is not particularly fast in general, but also being slower than Tyranitar is... It requires some work from both sides. It has to be a pretty fast Tyranitar and a pretty slow Decidueye. Not absurdly, but pretty. Now the problem here, what do you do if you are Aaron? Electabuzz drops to the next turn of, of sand. Your Decidueye is gone. Which one of these Pokemon do you bring out at this point? And what do you do?
Well, I think it's time. Oh, I was about to say one, but he picked the others.
It's gonna be the Corviknight. I mean, the issue with the Corviknight is you get straight up walled by Tyranitar. It only has the Brave Bird. It's Brave Bird, Tailwind, Bulk Up, Roost. So the only attacking move is Brave Bird, and so you do nothing to Tyranitar.
Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know.
You could set up the Tailwind here. Just lose the Electabuzz and get Tailwind up might be the option here. Golden Go gonna get another Nasty Plot up. That is scary.
He is at +3 right now.
Indeed. Rock Slide will finish off the Electabuzz. Hold for flinch on Corviknight. Hold the breath, and it gets the Tailwind up. So that's, I guess, how Aaron saw this turn going is, okay, get my Tailwind up, don't care, get Electabuzz out of the way, get Primarina in with the Tailwind, see what we can do. The problem is, now you have to decide whether you want to use your Hyper Voice, get your Throat Spray up, do super effective damage to Tyranitar, or use your Moonblast and get rid of Golden Go before Golden Go destroys your entire team.
Yeah, it could protect, but like you have to go for this Moonblast. Like as a fond user of Primarina, it's like go for that Moonblast. Like it's your only hope.
I guess the other, does Brave Bird plus Hyper Voice do enough damage to Golden Go?
You could try. It's worth the risk too. Oh, he went for it. Let's go.
We'll see. It's going to be the bulk up on the Corviknight. I like this. Playing towards a win condition. You're already down to your last two Pokemon, so you kind of need these two Pokemon to linger for a while.
Protect, yeah.
No Protect on the Golden Go. Moonblast comes out, gets the Golden Go down. There goes the Terrastal for Josh. Question now, what did the T-Tar decide to do?
Another Rock Slide? Ooh,
knockoff into Corviknight. Will lose the Rocky Helmet. Does a little bit of damage back with the Rocky Helmet, but Rocky Helmet's gone now. So ultimately, not a great spot for Aaron to be in, but not terrible. It could certainly be worse. Incineroar comes out now. The Mirror Armor.
This will bounce it back, right?
I believe so. Will it bounce it to both? No.
No, okay, just to each,
that makes sense.
Side, okay.
And that's fine for both sides, honestly. Incineroar isn't really expected to carry much of the load for damage dealing here, and similarly, the Primarina does not care at all. Primarina gets a big Hyper Voice off now and finally gets to proc its Throat Spray, which is really nice for it. Of course, the Fake Out will be an option as well.
Yeah, and this Tyranitar is AV and Sand.
It will certainly take the Hyper Voice, yeah. But it's better than nothing.
Wonder who. So it's like which one did he fake out? Like
yeah, and either way, neither one is an ideal choice for Josh. But I think if you have to pick one, you probably want the
Primarina's more scary right now. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, get the Primarina, but here's the thing: is that the Corviknight gets to Roost now, heal up a bunch of HP.
If he Rock Slides, he'll be not flying anymore. Let's see.
It's gonna be the low kick. Nice little read there.
Yeah,
not gonna do too much damage, but a nice little read. Sandstorm is now off, so that special defense is not boosted anymore. So this Hyper Voice will be some good damage.
I think you could do a Hyper Voice, Brave Bird, into either slot and get this a KO. So which one is more important to KO?
Yeah.
Is that? Ooh,
I don't know if Hyper Voice.
Oh, it doesn't have Protect. Yeah,
yeah,
he knows it doesn't have Protect. Okay.
Incineroar's gonna swap out. Amoonguss comes in. Ooh, a Brave Bird could be pretty crazy into this Amoonguss slot. It's gonna be the Brave Bird into the Tyranitar though. Does a little bit of damage and does the recoil back, which isn't ideal. And the Moonblast actually into the Tyranitar does pick up the knockout. And now Aaron's actually in a great spot because Josh is down to Incineroar and Amoonguss. They don't do damage.
And he can't intimidate the physical attacker on the field.
Yeah, and you can't intimidate Corviknight, who's at +1.
And he has did bulk up, so he's got some defense.
And there's no Terra anymore, so
let's see.
Bravebird will almost certainly just like light up Amoonguss right now.
Yeah, this Amoonguss is probably gonna have to go for Spore.
I think it has to. Like, I think you have to like fake out the Corviknight and then go for Spore onto it.
Yeah.
But even then, you're probably going to lose your Incineroar to Hyper Voice. Probably not lose it. Does take a big chunk of damage. See if the Amoonguss goes for it. It's got to be a Spore here. There's the third spray. It's Spore into the Corviknight. Does land. I mean, it has to. But the problem here is, what does Amoonguss do against these Pokemon?
Yeah, so Incineroar definitely probably doesn't have Protect, so it's going, if he uses Hyper Voice, it's down.
Yeah.
He can't, there's no way this Primarina can take out the Amoonguss, so that Spore is coming. What can the Amoonguss even hit?
The Amoonguss has Clear Smog and Pollen Puff.
Oh gosh,
Incineroar does get the Flare Blitz into the Corviknight, doesn't do enough damage to knock out. I did not think Incineroar was going to be fast enough to get that off, but Primarina is pretty slow. Corviknight does not get to move. Hyper Voice finishes off the Incineroar, and now the question: can Amoonguss do an what does Amoonguss even do damage-wise?
Maybe it attacks Corviknight and like tries to kill it.
Yeah, but what does it do?
Well, I guess it can use Pollen Puff.
Will Pollen Puff do 36 damage to Corviknight? I don't think it will.
And if he wakes up in Roost, but the Pollen Puff will be, instead of ×4 resist, it'll be ×2. Okay.
The wake up Roost would be so mean. Primarina's asleep.
What you got, Amoonguss? Oh,
It's
yeah.
Pollen Puff.
Oh no.
It does 9 damage.
Oh, poor guy.
Josh is not even going to try this one. Aaron Brok with the Game 1 victory. Makes sense. That was not an ideal situation at the end there. And yeah, it looked like Josh had a lot of early openings, was really breaking things open, and then just didn't have damage anymore. And that's a really important thing if you're running like Incineroar and Amoonguss. You need to make sure that like sometimes they just need to get knocked out. Sometimes you need them to drop to one of your opponent's hits, get your attackers in at a nice spot late in the battle, because in that situation you just needed anything that threatened these Pokemon and you just didn't have anything.
You don't want to be down to your last two as support Pokemon. You'd rather it be the other way.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
one or the other or something. So hopefully Josh doesn't get himself into a situation like that again, or he will not be moving on to the finals.
Yeah, we'll see if these two decide to switch anything up here. Last game was the Electabuzz and the Decidueye lead for Aaron, which didn't work great. Decidueye got lit up pretty quickly, burned the Terra without getting much done. Electabuzz got hit really hard. It wasn't fun.
Yeah, and Josh led Goldingo, right? And was it Tyranitar?
Yeah, Goldingo Tyranitar.
Okay. See?
And got the immediate Terra onto the Goldingo.
Maybe he needs to do more of like a support next to...
Could lead something calmer, like the get the Incineroar out there immediately. Although then you have to be worried about that mirror armor.
Yeah, and he didn't go for Trick Room. Maybe we could see maybe we could see Porygon 2 against.
We could see the Porygon 2, although I mean it's got answers. Porygon 2 can hit a lot of the stuff here, just because normal hits a bunch of stuff, and it has the Ice Beam to hit Corviknight reasonably. Game number 2. Aaron Brok, one game away from the finals here. Josh Denk looking to run this one back. They both have the basic trainer cards. That's funny to me. Josh will lead Incineroar Goldingo. A bit of a switch up. And Corviknight Primarina for Aaron. Going to switch that up entirely. So Incineroar is the one that gets intimidated.
Oh wow, Aaron is in a really good situation with this lead, and I think.
Yeah. Primarina can definitely go for its Hyper Voice pretty much immediately if it wants to, and Corviknight can get a
Get faked out, yeah.
can get faked out. I won't even.
No,
have to
that
say.
was ideal. Like, you would rather it get faked out so you can just do this hyper voice, because this is good. This is really good.
I guess the big problem is that Golden Go. It could still do quite a bit of damage, and that was big damage right there from the Hyper Voice. And your next Hyper Voice will do even more damage to both these Pokemon. Could put Golden Go in a 50-50 spot where it's like, maybe I do want a Terra, and then you Moonblast it. But I think either way, next turn Golden Go has to hit the button on going for the Make It Rain and see how much it does.
Well, this Primarina has access to Terra Steel, so he might have to go for Shadow Ball or just risk it. Because it's like, is he going to Terra?
That's the thing, like, even at +2, I don't think Shadow Ball takes down Primarina. It'll be tough.
It depends on the EVs.
It does, yeah.
It's like, let me look, can I tell?
It'll be certainly pretty dicey. But this Corviknight also has the opportunity to get the Tailwind up, or what's it, or who's it.
Okay, he went for it. Okay.
Corviknight's gonna swap out, and it's going to be the Electabuzz coming in. We're gonna see the Terra now from Aaron's side. That is the Terra Steel Primarina, as we mentioned.
This is great because now you can pull the Shadow Balls away with Electabuzz. So it depends on what he did. He did go for Shadow Ball.
Was for Shadow Ball, but it was into the Corviknight slot, so Electabuzz now takes that. And Flare Blitz as well. The Electabuzz not going to drop 13 HP once again. Weird coincidence.
It's very impressive.
And the Primarina Hyper Voice will finish off the Incineroar and get the Golden Go down to pretty low HP. Golden Go will get a little bit of that recovery back. But if you're Aaron, you have to feel like you're in a pretty good spot here. You can lose Electabuzz on a Follow Me and do basically whatever with Primarina, like depending on what comes in. Like Tyranitar comes in. Yeah. I feel like that's a nice spot for another Hyper Voice.
Yeah, you're good to Hyper Voice here because this Electabuzz have. Oh, it has Faint. Oh, but it can't do it because it's still a Ghost. Sorry, I'm so used to Golden Go like tearing that it's like,
yeah, it still hasn't terra'd yet, and it could Terra this turn, but
I feel like he would protect, but I don't know. I think the safest play is just Follow Me Hyper Voice.
I think that is the safest play. And then on Josh's side, what do you do here to really get around this? I mean, you knock out the Electabuzz and then you just hope Golden Go takes it. Golden Go might take another Hyper Voice. Tyranitar certainly takes it, even at +1. Tyranitar takes plenty of special hits, even super effective special hits, fairly decently. Golden Go's gonna actually protect out of this turn, which is probably ideal. Primarina's actually gonna do the same thing. Electabuzz may protect as well. No, it's gonna go for a Thunderbolt into Golden Go, not going to connect. And Tyranitar went for a Rock Slide.
Is it gonna miss?
It does hit, and it does knock out the Electabuzz. So ultimately a really solid turn for Josh there, actually. Because you're able to get the Electabuzz out of the way, and you did not take any damage in return. And your Golden Go got a little bit more leftovers healing back.
Alright, so we see the Corviknight coming back in. So we have the chance to go for Tailwind. Would probably be really nice for Primarina right now.
Yeah, Tailwind would be ideal for Primarina support, but you also gotta make sure you're getting some of that damage down. And also, the bulk up was important last game. You're able to take hits from Tyranitar and from Incineroar, who's knocked out, but physical hits, because you had that bulk up last game, not having it would be tough. Still wouldn't be an unplayable position, but it would be a little bit tougher.
Yeah, and it would be nice if you had Protect for Primarina this turn to set Tailwind just to guarantee it, because this speeds, it all depends on EVs on who's going first, and like, between these four.
Yeah, these are a lot of pretty low speed Pokemon.
Okay,
naturally.
looks like Golden Go.
Yeah, Golden Go does go for the Terra Dragon finally. Finally pulling the trigger on that. Goes for a big Shadow Ball into Corviknight.
Wow.
Corviknight drops. The Rock Slide also landed on a Primarina. This could be big. Yeah, and there's the flinch.
Oh, that's huge.
And there's the flinch, and that might have bailed Josh out of game number 2 and brought us to game 3. We'll have to see. There are still options left for Aaron, though. Particularly this Decidueye coming in here.
Well, he did not get the tailwind, so looks like Josh still has the speed control here.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be very tough for Aaron to get out of this one.
I can't remember. Was the Tyranitar faster than the Decidueye last time? Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And that makes it pretty difficult to play around. I mean, you know you're not going to get hit by Terraflying Terra Blast at the very least. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, you can go for this triple arrows and its T-Tar can't, it can't Terra.
It can't Terra, it can't do anything about it, although you do have to get the Golden Go out of the way. And Golden Go is going to protect.
We're going to see some more protects for this turn. Yep.
Primarina protects as well. And this Tyranitar might just click Rock Slide again. No, it goes for a low kick into the Primarina, so a totally worthless turn. That turn did absolutely nothing for any of us because this gave me triple arrows into the Golden Go. Literally nothing happened. Literally worthless turn.
Well, the Sandstorm lost.
We did get the Sandstorm. Decidueye took a little bit of damage from the Sandstorm because Golden Go is going to get the health back from leftovers. So Decidueye took 11 damage that turn, and that was the whole turn. It does mean that the protects aren't on the table though for Golden Go and Primarina, only on the table for Decidueye. Primarina goes for the double, does not get it.
Ouch.
And Golden Go goes for the Shadow Ball here, and that should... I mean, it's not going to knock out Primarina. It gets pretty close, though, and the low kick will finish off Prim.
Oh, right. Did we see... I wonder if we're seeing triple arrows into T-Tar. That would be a guaranteed KO.
I'd like to see it, but I think we're getting triple arrows into the Golden Go. Probably the better choice for right now. It does get the crit.
One of its 3 additional effects.
Has increased critical hit rate, a 50% chance to lower defense, and a 30% chance to flinch. Decidueye takes a little bit more Sandstorm damage. We will see what Josh's last Pokemon was. It's Porygon 2.
Ooh.
Is there a way out of this for Aaron? Can Aaron win this?
It got the attack on download, so...
You have triple arrows on both of these Pokemon.
Okay, Porygon can hit it super effective damage, so what's T-Tar got? Ooh,
Is Porygon slower than Decidueye? Yeah, Porygon's definitely slower than Decidueye.
Is very slow.
So I think you just have to hope
for the crit.
Well, no, you hope you take Tyranitar's hits okay, which you might. Tyranitar does not hit you very hard. And then just use your triple arrows into Porygon 2 and maybe hope you get the flinch out of it. Knockoff comes out first. That does 50 damage.
Yeah, it resists all these attacks.
But it drops out the scope lens, so you can't crit as often.
Oh, we didn't.
And you don't get the crit there.
You
get the defense drop. And you get the flinch.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is this getting a little dicey?
What a great move.
The Porygon 2 is going to drop.
Yeah, even if it tries
Rock Slide, unless Rock Slide flinches.
Nope.
It does not. This could be it. Will triple arrows do enough?
You need either crit, C-Tar needs crits or flinch.
Oh, but will the triple arrows knock out the Tyranitar? It is bulky. It is a big guy.
It's quad.
It is quad effective though.
Oh,
Rock Slide.
See. You need that flinch, Josh.
Does it flinch? It
you
does!
Got it! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, wow.
But now Rock Slide needs to hit.
Now Rock Slide needs to... Well, no, what do we got?
It needs to hit for Josh to win.
You're just going to have to hit this. There's no other moves.
There's no other move that's going to do enough damage. Josh has to hit this Rock Slide to bring us to game 3.
Yes!
And it does hit.
Oh, wow.
And Josh Denk ties up the series. And gets the critical hit for the fans.
Crit mattered.
So Josh, by the skin of his teeth, wins game number 2. And our semifinals will head to game 3.
It's like, Josh, you are staying in. You needed the win to stay in the game.
Yeah, and now, what are the adaptations for each of these players now? I mean, we see
Yeah,
what this Decidueye can do in the late game, because if somebody terras, you know you're super effective against Porygon 2, and you do some crazy damage. I think it was very important, actually, to this series that we don't know whether Decidueye is going to knock out the Tyranitar or not, because that seriously, it could have not knocked out the Tyranitar. We really don't. I don't want to write down for certain that that was going to knock out. I think it's. I also think it's more dramatic if I don't say for certain whether it's going to knock out the Tyranitar or not. But regardless, like, how do these two, like, what do you do here? How do you try to win game number 3?
Right, it's gonna be by who is the better player, like, here, because you have to, like, we've seen so much of what both their teams can do against each other, because we saw so many, both, like, 2 different strategies, both of those games. So yeah, it's really gonna come down to who can make, like, this lead call better, and after that, like, it's good. I feel like we're gonna see a lot of switching out this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if Josh is going to try to play this one a lot slower, try to manage the teams a little bit better, but I feel like that's not ideal because there's a lot of just setup and a lot of getting switched in and out on,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term, on Aaron's team, so you might have to keep the pressure up.
Also, a side note, I was distracted a second ago because they both are, like, running essentially the same exact Tyranitar.
Yeah,
Like, it's literally
it's a pretty
same.
common set,
Yeah.
but also it is like the exact same Tyranitar.
Yeah, it's like, I wonder if it's like, we can't tell. They're not the same level.
They're not the same level, and I don't think they have the same stats. But regardless, Aaron Brok, Josh Denk, game 3.
Ooh, interesting.
We'll decide it all here. Primarina Corviknight again for Aaron. This time it's Porygon 2 and Incineroar for Josh.
Are we gonna see Trick Room, fake out Trick Room, you think?
Might
Back to basics,
see
like...
fake out Trick Room, although there are a lot of slow Pokemon on Aaron's side. I wouldn't want to let them just...
Well, maybe he brought Ursaluna and Moon.
It's a possibility, honestly. If Josh wants to just go hard Trick Room in this game, that's definitely a possibility.
It would be something he hasn't done yet.
It's going to be the fake out on the Primarina, probably a smart choice. Corviknight gets the bulk up, though.
Let's see if it's Trick Room.
I think
probably
it's gotta be Trick Room on Porygon.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let's see. What's Incineroar got?
Yeah, now
we
the
could
question...
switch it out, like, into our...
Yeah, I mean, the big problem here is that Incineroar is at -1 and Corviknight is at +1 defense. So even your Flare Blitzes are not going to do that much to Corviknight here. Corviknight can try to... Honestly, could go for another bulk up, but might just want to start Brave Birding and getting some damage down here. And Primarina, of course, has a basically free Hyper Voice again. I mean, these Pokemon are pretty slow. Ice Beam from Porygon 2 into Corviknight does about a quarter of the HP, not a ton. Hyper Voice, actually the second thing to come out, does some really good damage to Incineroar, gets a little chunk onto Porygon 2, gets the Throat Spray boost. And Corviknight, Brave Bird, into the Incineroar, that should be it.
Yep.
Goodbye, Incineroar.
But now, is this a free switch in for Josh into his Ursaluna?
It could be, but at the very least, it will not get the Flame Orb. It is the Ursaluna, though. Josh does go for the Trick Room mix-up in game number 3.
So he'll probably have to use Protect here to get his burn, or does he to waste a turn of Trick Room doing that?
That's the problem. What does Ursaluna do against Corviknight? Is actually the big problem here.
Yeah. Oh, I just looked. It has Substitute.
It has Substitute, yeah, but it Headlong Rush, Facade. One of those moves does not hit Corviknight. One of them doesn't hit Corviknight particularly hard. Obviously, Corviknight does have to watch out. If it roosts, then it can be hit by Headlong Rush, which is instead launched into Primarina. It takes it with 7 HP remaining.
Oh, that's bad.
Does Porygon 2 aim for that?
Yes.
It does get the Terra Blast into that, but that does mean the Corviknight has a bit of an opening if it wants to do whatever it wants.
Let's see where he put it.
Again, Brave Bird, the only attacking move. +1 Brave Bird, good damage to the Ursaluna. Not a ton, but the problem is you get the recoil damage in return, and even if Ursaluna can't do anything to you, as the Corviknight, you're still taking a bunch of damage. You can see Electabuzz come in now. Might have actually preserved the Electabuzz, because if that's a Moongus in the back, you really need that Vital Spirit. That Vital Spirit we were talking about, it actually comes in important later. But still playing towards the win conditions, all things considered.
Oh, this will be interesting.
I like how this... I like the decision here. I'm curious how it plays out. Terra from Aaron. It's going to be the Terra Ghost Electabuzz. It'll make it immune to Terra Blast. It'll make it immune to Facade. It'll make it normal against Headlong Rush instead of weak to it. So overall, pretty smart to use here. And it is the Facade.
Yeah,
and it totally eats that. It's the Ice Beam, however, from Porygon 2. Hold for freeze. No freeze, and Corviknight gets a Roost off.
Completely free.
Completely free. I mean, he took like 30 damage, but ultimately pretty free, and...
The Ursaluna didn't die that turn, so that's good for Josh.
It is. But the problem is that, what does your Ursaluna get done? What is your Ursaluna's options for the rest of this battle?
I guess he could click Headlong Rush.
And this is the last turn of Trick Room.
Yeah, he has to go for an attack now. It's now or never.
And I mean, you don't... Neither of these Pokemon has Protect for
yeah, so he's good
Aaron.
To go for it.
So you can hit, but follow me.
Yep.
So you eat a Headlong Rush. I think Electabuzz does not take this. I lied. Electabuzz absolutely does not take that hit. But Corviknight here, if you want, can actually go for a Tailwind, so that once you're out of
once Trick Room ends, you got Tailwind.
You've got Tailwind up. Porygon 2 goes for the Ice Beam. Hold for freeze. No freeze, and it just goes for the Brave Bird into the Porygon 2. Decent chunk down, but I'm a little worried now about Aaron's position, or... you do... Yeah, Trick Room ends. Decidueye should be the fastest thing on the field now.
Yeah, and they're both weak to fighting.
And they are both weak to fighting. You just need to make the right pick out here. I mean, Porygon 2 doesn't have Protect, so that's a pretty easy call out. Yeah, I think this turn's pretty easy for Aaron, actually. Because Ursaluna has 2 more turns on this field in this game. Because that's as much as it will get out of these burn turns. So I think Aaron's actually in an excellent spot here to just click
he's
triple
good.
arrows into Porygon 2 and Brave Bird into Ursaluna.
He would have to protect Ursaluna and try to Trick Room and hope that Porygon 2 lives.
I don't think... I thought we saw in the previous game that Porygon 2 absolutely does not take that hit.
Yeah, it's like... It's not looking good.
Terra hasn't been yet like that?
I didn't think so.
I didn't think so either.
Yeah, but
regardless, Porygon 2 is going to drop to Brave Bird, and that's actually smart. Switching that up, potentially, so that... Ooh, if you went for the Terra, you're done. Like, if you went for that conventional play where you use the triple arrows... Okay, hold up. Reading the idea that it was going to be triple arrows into Porygon 2 and Brave Bird into Ursaluna, it was predicting that the Porygon 2 would Terra, in which case you would need to Brave Bird that. Doesn't matter. Golden Go's the last Pokemon on the field. It will get hit really hard by 1,000 arrows because of Scrappy, and therefore might have to Terra. But then if it Terras, it will get hit by Brave Bird and 1,000 arrows.
Yeah, God.
And it might... It could still get crit, it could still get its defense dropped. There's the Terra. Terra Dragon's leftovers.
So it could be bulky, let's see.
It does take, I think at this point it takes 3,000 arrows, assuming nothing weird happens.
Okay,
so Corviknight does drop now. So it is just these 2 Pokemon remaining.
Let's see
the
if we
secondary effects might decide things. None of them. None of them for the first one.
All right. Does he have another Pokemon? Oh,
nope, it's just these last 2. This is it for these semifinals. Golden Go is going to keep protecting, keep healing up from the leftovers.
As he should.
It really is going to come down to the triple arrow secondary effects.
Yeah.
I believe it has a 50% chance to crit between the triple arrows and the scope lens.
Yeah, it does.
It has a
have scope.
50% chance to drop defense. And the flinch shouldn't matter because the Golden Go is faster. Yeah, the Golden Go is faster. It pops and make it rain.
That was a weird
Not
choice.
going to be enough damage.
I can't believe he didn't just go for Shadow Ball.
I mean, 2 make it rain will get it done regardless. And the crit!
Oh, wow.
And the crit from the triple arrows gets it done for Aaron Brok.
Wow.
And he'll be heading to the finals.
What a great win.
Incredible, incredible game. And after getting... I mean, that's Pokemon for you, especially with some of the Pokemon in this metagame. I mean, Decidueye and the Tyranitar in the last game. In game number 2, Tyranitar got the Rock Slide flinch and picked up the win because of that. In game number 3, Decidueye with returning it in the other direction, getting that huge crit to end the set out. What an incredible set.
Yeah, what a wild day for Hisuian Decidueye.
And it's not done yet.
Yeah.
It's going to be in finals.
Let's see if we can take it to the first place.
It will be in finals. We're going to be back in just a moment for the finals. Don't go anywhere.